What did we say the 49ers' new nickname is? Gangster Nerds?
I don't understand.
Okay. We're going to play both of them? Which one is it? Okay, 1-2 punch. Check this out. So Ryan Clark on ESPN, this is post-Monday Night Football, and they start talking about the Niners. You know why, Dibs? You know why they were talking about the Niners?
Because they're pretty good.
Because the Niners are the best team. So they're talking about them a lot. And here comes Ryan Clark.
Word you use to describe the 49ers?
Unbeatable.
Meaning what?
When they're whole.
That's an important word, too.
When they're whole, when you have Trent Williams,
yes,
who's a skilled player to me, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Brock Purdy, they are unbeatable. And I'm not saying this as hyperbole, though, Scott, because everybody's going to go, oh, Ryan, how do you say they're unbeatable? Anybody can lose. It's any given Sunday.
I'm waiting.
What I'm saying is, since they've been on the field together and started a game and finished the game, they have not lost.
You are absolutely right.
And you look at what they were able to do, Scott, and you talked about this. What was the number you gave us on beating the really good teams? What was it? Jacksonville,
Dallas, Jacksonville, Seattle, Philadelphia. 4 really good teams. They beat them by 103
You beat them by 100.
103 points.
You beat them by, you get 100 of anything, it's good.
Yeah.
Right? You score 100 points in those games, it's good. But to
beat them by
those teams that way, it shows you that in the biggest times, against the best of competition, this is when this team is the best.
Okay. And by the way, it's also that point is why Brock Purdy would win the MVP if the vote were today. Because it's not just, he's the number 1 rated QB and the Niners are 9-3. It's because of what Ryan is talking about, which is that he's been at his best in their biggest games.
Yeah.
So high-profile stuff, the Cowboys, the Jags, the Eagles, he's crushed them.
Funny, though, how Ryan Clark named him 5th in his order of Niners. Because Scott Van Pelt says, why? Because he says, they're unbeatable. Tell me why. Because Trent Williams is a skill guy, and Deebo, and Kittle, and McCaffrey, and, Brock Purdy, too. I finally got to him. I listed him 5th for a reason.
Ready for more?
I need more.
Ryan Clark, ESPN.
When you look at them offensively, you say to yourself, oh, yeah, we're going to make this a fist fight, right? Philly was saying, all that stuff y'all talked all season, we going to have to see about that. And you know what they said? What the kids say now? Bet. They showed up with that physicality, and I told you how I described it earlier. They're the most schematically intelligent, ignorantly violent group of individuals I've ever seen. Because you saw what RG drew up. That's difficult for defenses to deal with when you have a guy that's basically saying, look at me, look at me, look at me. That's only being used as a decoy so Brock Purdy can find the open spaces. That is tough. But then when they get the football in their hands, they are seeking contact. They are seeking opportunities to inflict pain on defenders, and I don't think that's like any other team in this league.
They like Gangsta Nerds?
All the like Gangsta Nerds.
Gangsta Nerds? You are the only person on earth that can bring that analogy and it makes sense.
Philadelphia.
Gangsta Nerds.
It's so good.
You mean like Gangsta Nerds?
Gangsta Nerds? He's like, yeah, kind of like Gangsta Nerds.
They're ignorantly violent.
Schematically intelligent, ignorantly violent.
So good.
Shorten it, Gangsta Nerds.
Yeah.
I'm making that T-shirt tonight.
I mean, we can put that on our T-shirt shop that we have going. We got a Cry Eagles Cry shirt that just got put up there. And we can put up Gangsta Nerds, and I like it. And you can have, Shanahan with his laminated play sheet in the middle, and then around him, all of the other Gangsta Nerds, like your guy number 13, 85 with the long hair,
Kittle's already
19 problems.
Kittle's already called his reps at Zenny to come up with the nerdy glasses.
23 with the headband.
Yep.
You get out to 11 with his beautiful locks. You get 44 in there as well. 71 on the corner with the chain. Gangsta Nerds.
Mm-hmm.
You put them all in there, Mark. All of them.
It's a good nickname.
It's hilarious, and it does need an explanation, but now that it's been officially given as a moniker, I love it.
Schematically intelligent, ignorantly violent.
That's my favorite part. Or violently ignorant?
No, ignorantly violent.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
schematically intelligent, ignorantly violent.
And they go out there and they try to inflict pain on you on offense. When they have the ball, they're out there trying to hit you. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that goes against everything of conventional wisdom in football. When you're on offense, you're trying to score. but you're also trying to avoid being hit. You're trying to avoid being tackled.
Normally.
You're trying to get down, get out, stay safe, live to fight another day. This team's out there trying to hurt you when they have the football. 19 problems is looking for contact. CMC is getting all real tight with the ball, and he's not shying away from you.
Kittle.
Like a nina.
People are running from Trent Williams.
I mean, it's
Juwan Jennings is said to be the best downfield blocking wide receiver in the whole league, according to Kyle Shanahan.
that stiff arm was more of a competitive slap.
Yep.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with the competitive slap circuit.
Yes. Well, no, but yes. I know what
You've
you're
seen
talking
it, though.
about. Yes.
Like the two guys stand next to each other, and
Yes.
the one guy rears back and just
And you just have to stand there.
Oh, yeah.
See if you can take it.
Jolo and Dibs, we had a thing, and I lost a bet to Lowe, and the payoff was I was supposed to have the world slap champion come out and slap me.
Come on,
Go to hell,
man.
Dibs.
Couldn't get him out of Russia, unfortunately. There were visa issues, but that was about a week's worth of material.
Too bad.
Yeah, because I was going to get slapped, apparently. I lost another bet to Lowe Neal, but
Too bad.
yes, this team's looking to hurt you, ... on offense.
Do y'all want to hear that again so you can catch? Like, I don't know. I know you're driving home from work, and maybe you didn't quite gather or lock into what Ryan Clark was saying because you didn't know what was coming. How did we arrive at Gangsta Nerds for the San Francisco 49ers? Ryan Clark, post Monday Night Football, ESPN.
When you look at them offensively, you say to yourself, oh, yeah, we're going to make this a fist fight, right? Philly was saying, all that stuff y'all talked all season, we going to have to see about that. And you know what they said? What the kids say now? Bet. They showed up with that physicality, and I told you how I described it earlier.
Yep.
They're the most schematically intelligent, ignorantly violent group of individuals I've ever seen. Because you saw what RG drew up. That's difficult for defenses to deal with when you have a guy that's basically saying, look at me, look at me, look at me. That's only being used as a decoy so Brock Purdy can find the open spaces. That is tough. But then when they get the football in their hands, they are seeking contact. Yeah. They are seeking opportunities to inflict pain on defenders, and I don't think that's like any other team in this league.
They like gangster nerds.
All the
Yeah, like Gangsta Nerds.
You are the only person on earth that can bring that analogy and it makes sense.
Philadelphia.
Gangster nerds.
I love it.
Yeah,
They're like Gangsta Nerds? Yeah. They're like Gangsta Nerds.
That's my favorite part is the light bulb. Ryan Clark's like, yeah, I like it. Could have saved me a whole 60 seconds if you just would have said that.
I'm telling you, man, it's really good. I give him a lot of credit, not just for the Gangsta Nerds thing, but like the way he said it the first time, I've never really heard it put that way. And it is a special combination from the 49ers. Schematically intelligent, ignorantly violent. So in other words, they're the smartest person in the room and the strongest person in the room. That's not a combo you usually get. Someone's either going to overwhelm you physically or they're going to overwhelm you mentally. If you can do both, that's how you get to be the Super Bowl favorite, even when you don't have the best record.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think the schematics part of it is so fun to watch because they do scheme people open, and that's why Brock Purdy doesn't always get the credit he deserves because you've got a lot of guys running free and running open, and he delivers the mail as he's supposed to do. It's his job. But then once the ball gets in these guys' hands, they do go out there and seek contact. And even when they don't have the ball, they're trying to get in the mix. George Kittle blocking two guys at once on Christian McCaffrey's touchdown run against the Eagles. He's joyfully running down the field, blocking one guy behind, blocking another one in front, and loving every minute of it.
Well, let me add another word to all of this. I don't want to change Gangsta Nerds. It's too perfect. But let me add sort of another characteristic to this that I think is imperative for you to get here. You cannot be schematically intelligent and ignorantly violent unless you are also ... incredibly unselfish. This is my favorite part of this 49er team. I don't know that I can remember ever watching a football team that had this many big names that literally do not care about the attention and the ball. They don't. Name a wide receiver core in the history of football that's had this much name value and this little diva. And it's funny that we're saying that now because Deebo Samuel's literally coming off the week where he sounded the most diva-esque in his entire career, except for when he was holding the Niners' feet to the fire. But it doesn't play itself out in the game. I know he talks trash, and he probably went too far, especially with the whole like, oh, we would have won last year, turnovers, and then we messed up this, and then we messed up that, or we would have won. Okay, was that the boo-hoos? Maybe, but none of that comes to the field with Deebo. Deebo Samuel is the biggest off-field talker that is the biggest on-field walker I've ever seen. Because two things happen when Deebo comes out on the field. A, he doesn't whine about getting the ball, and B, he doesn't whine about how he gets the ball.
Right.
We don't know any receivers who literally like, dude, just give me the ball. I don't care. Give me the ball in the backfield, and I'll power through everybody like a running back and then run a route on the very next play. League's never seen that. And then the very next week, Brandon Ayuk will go for 120 yards, and Deebo's like, sweet.
Right.
High five. This is a very special team.
Yeah.
It's a very, very special football team.
And Kyle Shanahan gets a lot of the credit for that because he's instilled in these guys, as Peter King told us on the show yesterday, he's instilled that selflessness and that idea of you got to be able to block for me to be able to play for me. And all these guys embrace it. And it's, George Kittle, who doesn't always get a lot of targets. In one game, he gets 3 touchdowns, and the next he might get 3 targets. And Christian McCaffrey, who had the elite blitz pickup on the Juwan Jennings touchdown that Peter was talking about, because Philadelphia comes with the 0 blitz, rushing 7, having 4 in coverage, and McCaffrey steps up in the A gap, right where the center should be, but the center was busy blocking other people, and he gets low and just, boop, perfect blitz pickup. Brock unpressured, delivers to Juwan. Juwan does the rest, touchdown 49ers. It's so many plays where you watch in the run game, and Charlie Warner doesn't get enough credit when they go 2 tight ends and what a great blocker he is on the line of scrimmage. And Ayuk and Deebo, when they don't get it, they're out there blocking. It's incredible to watch the offense the way they are so selfless. And you don't even hear about it post-game or on the sideline. You don't see a receiver coming off the field and spiking his helmet and barking at somebody, and he's getting held back because I was open and you got to, when am I going to get a chance to eat?
Who was it that was caught barking at each other on the sideline this week? I'm trying to remember. Who was it? Receiver and quarterback. And it was like, gosh, it was a pair of people that you wouldn't think would be young. I'm going to keep looking at this. I'm trying to remember who it was.
Yeah.
Was it? It wasn't Jamar Chase and Browning, was it? I don't think it was. I'll find it. But we haven't seen that with the Niners this year, and you see it a lot of places. A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts have been barking at each other a time or two on the sideline, and that has not happened with this group. And if you do want to credit Shanahan, I sort of am like, that's a credit to everybody. You credit Shanahan because he's where it starts in terms of the quote-unquote buy-in. He has to be able to get people to buy in, but the people also get the credit for buying in. If you're a receiver with the 49ers, you do show up with, hey, my numbers might be a little bit less. They run the ball here.
Right.
They run the ball here. Like, I'm not going to get Tyreek's numbers here. I'm not going to get Justin's numbers here. We're not going to do that. But especially if I'm homegrown, I will be valued here.
Right.
Deebo got his money, and I think Brandon will get his.
And that, to me, is where the credit goes to Lynch and Shanahan. And also, Brandon Ayuk, of course, gets the lion's share because he's the one who this year could be chirping, and he could be letting it be known that he wants to get the ball. I'm looking to get paid here. I'm looking to get that big contract. And you look at where he is right now, and he's had a good year. But compared to like the really, really big years that are out there, he's got 50 catches. I think Keenan Allen has 103. He's got 927 yards. Tyreek Hill's got about 1,600. He's got 6 touchdowns, and I'm sure the league leader is McCaffrey overall touchdowns, but there's probably a guy out there with 11 or 12 receiving touchdowns. So he's not among the league leaders, yet he's on a winning team. He's in a winning system, and to what you said before, this is a team that values its drafted players who become A-listers. And the way Brandon Ayuk has played, he's an A-lister for this team.
No doubt.
He is, I think, their number one receiver, although you could say it's Debo. And the fact that you can say that it might be McCaffrey or Kittle speaks to just how good this offense is and how balanced this offense is.
Brandon Ayuk is 12th in the league in receiving.
In yards?
Yeah.
With 927?
Yep. 927 is...
Where's he in catches?
12th in the league.
About 23rd in catches?
Receptions, he is... he's down the list. Where is he? Oh my gosh, I can't even find him.
Jeez. That escalated quickly.
42nd.
In catches?
Yeah.
But 12th in yards. Okay.
With 50.